So you got your PCS orders, you're coming out to Hawaii, you heard about how crazy the market is out here, and you're interested in investing in real estate and leveraging that oh so sweet VA loan. Well, in this video, I'm literally gonna give you the step-by-step game plan of what I would suggest you do if you want to leverage that VA loan to build wealth through real estate. Stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I mentioned in this video, we are gonna go over the game plan of how you want to leverage that VA loan when you get your orders out here to Hawaii so that you can build wealth every single year while you're holding on to that real estate asset. Because out here in Hawaii, it's a great and very strong market for many reasons. Some of those reasons would be basically we're on an island. There's only so much space and plenty of people always coming here. So generally, the prices continue to go up. So while you're here for those 3 years, you want to capitalize on that and try to get yourself one of those assets with as little as money possible, which is where the VA loan comes in, and hold on to that asset for as long as possible, or at least 3 to 5 years is generally my rule of thumb. Now, the beauty of your situation is that number one, you have the VA loan, which allows you to purchase a home with 0 down payment. Now, there are some other costs that are incurred, closing costs, funding fees, things of that nature. But of course, reach out to me if you have any questions, or I've got some video on my YouTube channel that goes over the numbers, but it's very minimal compared to what a normal civilian would have to put down or come to the table with when it comes to purchasing a home. So that's a huge benefit, 0 down payment. Additionally, the government will be giving you BAH and COLA, which is tax-free money for you to go find a place to rent or to own. And that's why it's way smarter, instead of you burning your money and paying somebody else's mortgage, is pay your own mortgage so that you can pay dividends and build equity in an asset that you actually own. Now, just to give you some ideas of numbers when it comes to the market out here, last year was a crazy market, but on average, over 30 years of data, you can generally see an appreciation rate out here of 4 to 8%. So let's put this in a calculation. If you were to purchase a home for $500,000, which you're using that tax-free money from the government to pay your mortgage payment every single month, so it's not even coming directly out of your pocket, you would see an appreciation or return on your investment of 4 to 8%. So if you bought a home for $500,000, on the low end 4%, that's 20 grand every single year that you would be building in equity. That's essentially $60,000 of equity that you really didn't have to work for, other than just putting your name on a piece of paper and living in a home and having the government pay for your mortgage payment. And you would essentially hold on to that asset or sell it and cash out on that $60,000. Now, that's on the low end, guys. I've seen some insane returns for some of my other clients when the market was higher than 4%, 6, 8%. We're talking $30,000, $40,000 a year on a $500,000 purchase. So just something to keep in mind. But now let's get into the step-by-step game plan that I would suggest. If you haven't been excited already, we're gonna walk through the process right now. Step number one is figure out what your BAH and COLA is and what your monthly payment is. Now, obviously, if you have dependents, it's gonna be higher than if you didn't have dependents. But the general rule of thumb that I always suggest to my clients is try to stay within your BAH, because that's where you can really properly leverage someone else's money to pay your mortgage payment. So that would be step number one. Now, also keep in mind that it's not the worst if you're paying a little bit out of pocket, because we are out here in Hawaii and it's a little bit pricey. I usually say a couple $100 out of pocket is fine, because you're being able to actually control a large asset for simply a couple $100 a month, which is gonna pay dividends every single year in the form of equity. Step number two is you're gonna wanna connect with a lender as well as a realtor. You're gonna wanna connect with a lender so they can take your finances, get your LES, your COE, all of your documents, and factor in what your BAH is gonna be and your COLA, and then tell you how much you qualify for and what your monthly payment would be. Now, again, we wanna focus that monthly payment to be pretty darn close to your BAH. A little over is okay, but not too much. Additionally, you're gonna wanna link yourself up with the realtor, whether you're out here already or if you wanna link up with them before you actually arrive here. And the important part of linking up with the realtor is so they can educate you on the different areas of specifically this island and where you'd wanna be in relation to work and what's important to you. They can guide you through the process because they know the area. Me, myself, I know this island like the back of my hand, and 80% of my clients are military, so I kind of know exactly what they like and what they don't like. So if you guys do need any assistance, again, shameless plug, I am a realtor. By all means, reach out to me if you want some boots on the ground and some guidance. Got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. The third thing you're gonna wanna do is figure out your areas of interest. And what I mean by that is, what locations would you like to be in? Again, the realtor can kind of guide you once he asks you a fair amount of questions, figuring out what's important to you, what size home do you need, how many people do you have that will be coming with you on your orders? Is it gonna be your wife, your 2 kids, your dog? Do you have a bunch of cars? A lot of these things are important when guiding you accordingly. Now that they have your numbers from the lender of how much you would qualify for, what your BAH is, but you really need to figure out what's important to you. Do you want to be close to work, or do you need more house? These are all things, again, that you need to figure out what's important to you and then translate that to your realtor so they can guide you accordingly. Step number 4 is figure out, do you want a turnkey property or a fixer-upper, or maybe a light fixer-upper? This is important to understand because you can get a lot of properties that are turnkey. Obviously, you're going to be paying a little bit of a premium because you don't have to do anything to the work. You obviously have fixer-uppers, but you can't have them be too big of fixer-uppers because VA won't approve it if it's falling apart. And then light fixer-uppers, which is my favorite, something that just maybe needs new floors, fresh paint, new cabinets, where you can put some forced equity into the property, is always my personal preference. But again, you need to figure out what you and your family want, and again, translate that information to the realtor so they can guide you accordingly. The 5th thing you want to look into is how to potentially house hack the property. Now, you've already done a military house hack where you're leveraging that tax-free money from the government to help pay your mortgage payment. But if, let's say, you're a single military serviceman or woman, you could house hack the property and maybe get, let's say, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. You live in 1 bedroom, and then you have a friend live in the other bedroom. So not only are you getting that BH money for that mortgage payment, but maybe you'll even actually be able to cash flow that property or get a bigger home because you're using one of those bedrooms where someone's paying you rent basically as you live there. And that's also a huge benefit, but you want to know, is that something that would work for you? And then of course, crunch numbers. Number 6 is you want to review the rental market. The reason why this is important is because generally the best thing to do is to hold on to a property for a minimum of 3 to 5 years. So you can sell the property after you get your PCS orders and you leave the island, but I always suggest my clients that they hold on to that asset so that they can cash in on that 4 to 8% appreciation every single year. But you want to know, how much can I rent this property for when I leave, because that BH is going to be gone. I'm going to get a different rate when I get my orders, and is that rent going to cover my mortgage payment or cover a significant amount? So you want to know those numbers. Again, talk to your realtor and they can crunch those numbers for you. And number 7, which is the obvious one, is after you've crunched all your numbers, you figured out where you want to be, what your budget is, and your realtor's kind of guided you, is to find a home. Find a home, put in an offer, and preferably what I would suggest is find a home that's been on the market for a while. This is where you can generally find more of a deal. It just really depends on your situation and your timeline. Again, if you've just got your orders and you're now here on island, you generally have 60 days to basically find a property, or else you gotta find somewhere to live because they're gonna put you in a hotel for 60 days. And after that, your TLA is gone. So generally you want to do a little bit of shopping before you actually get here, so you get a kind of lay of the land. That's what I always suggest. But you want to actually find the home. Now, having a home that's been on the market for 30, 60, or 90 days means that you have a motivated seller. And that leads me into my next point, which is number 8, get seller's credit. Now, we are in a different market than we were 12 months ago, where the market was crazy hot and you couldn't get a deal anywhere. But now we're in a situation where sellers are starting to feel a little bit more pain and buyers have a little bit more of an advantage and leverage, where they can ask a motivated seller, and that's the key word there, for credit, which can help them buy down their rate and lower their monthly payment. Again, I've got a video right here that goes over a little bit more about that strategy, so go ahead and check it out. But that's something that you're definitely gonna wanna be looking into. So now that you're in that home, you're living great, you either been house hacking the property and you've got, a friend who's renting to the other room, you got your BH covering your mortgage payment, you're sitting in that property, you're living the Hawaii lifestyle. And now what you wanna keep an eye out for is for interest rates. Now we're waiting for the Fed to get their stuff together and bring interest rates back down to some kind of normal levels. We're now floating around in late April of 2023 into like 6%, 6.25%. Once we see rates start to come down, and I would think that they're probably gonna come down in the next year, year and a half. When that happens, you are going to want to refinance your loan and get a lower monthly payment and a lower interest rate. And one of the best ways to do that is to leverage the EARL. That's a streamlined refinance loan, or also known as a interest rate reduction refinance loan. I know that's a long name, but it is something you definitely want to leverage. Again, I've got a video right here that goes over it, so feel free to check that out. Basically what it is a very easy way for you at a very low cost to drop your rate, which would also drop your monthly payment. Now, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is when your 3 years are up, you're most likely getting your orders for your next installment and where you're gonna be shipped out. This is where you need to make the decision on whether you want to sell the property, cash out, or if you wanna hold on to the property and rent it out and have somebody else pay your mortgage payment. This is something where you want to link up with your realtor, have him kind of run the numbers on what you could get for rent. There's multiple markets. I have some videos that go over this midterm rental market, which I'm a big fan of, where you can actually get a lot for your property. But again, check that out. And you want to figure out whether you want to sell it or whether you want to rent it. So just something you want to keep in mind, but that would definitely be a big decision and the next step in this process. Now, the next thing that I would do, depending on where you're going, if you plan on purchasing another property with that VA loan, you may need to refinance out of your VA loan to free up your entitlement. You get a certain amount of entitlement in regards to leveraging that VA loan. You can't just use VA loans every single place. So that's something you're gonna wanna look into. So you're either gonna keep that VA loan in place or you're gonna refinance out of it depending on where the rates are, and you're going to free up that VA loan so you can purchase another property on your next installment. And the last step is, of course, to rinse and repeat this process. This is the beauty of this VA loan, guys. If you follow this step-by-step process that I went through, you really can continue to buy properties every single time you get orders. And by the time you're out, you could have 3, 4, 5 different properties that are renting and building you equity in different parts of the world. So it's something you definitely want to look into, and it's a great way while you're working in the military to leverage all the benefits that they're giving you all while you're working. So guys, this is something you definitely want to look into because you're getting all these benefits from the military, and it's really sad to see that some of the military servicemen and women I come across aren't leveraging these beautiful benefits that you have earned. And that's the key word there, guys. You have earned this benefit and you need to utilize it. So make sure that you leverage it to its fullest extent. And again, if you guys want any assistance, I would suggest either reaching out to me. I got my contact information right here, or I actually have a course that I sell online, but if you comment down below or reach out to me, I will send you a coupon code. It's a course showing you how to leverage that VA loan to build real estate portfolio. It's a actual 50+ course that will show you how to leverage that VA loan to build a real estate portfolio and wealth for you and your family. Again, if you comment down below or reach out to me, I'll give you a coupon code so you get it for free. You're definitely gonna wanna check it out. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys got any value out of this video, if you guys could do me a huge favor, smash that like button as well as click the subscribe and notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop videos just like this. And if you wanna reach out to me or need some boots on the ground, I got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, I'm Patrick at PatrickLawrenRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.